What's up, everybody? Brian Mann here, hands-on auto training. End of day, August 25th, 2021. Whew, what a day. It's 6:20 in the evening and I'm just on my way home. Had an interesting one at the end of the day here, my last job. It wasn't supposed to be my last job, but that's the way it went. Just a reminder, premium members, we've got our membership meeting tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's August 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. See you there. So today started out pretty simple. Wasn't bad. I started out with a 2008 Chevy Malibu, just engine control module programming using SPS2, straightforward, no problems. Next job, we went to a side object detection module on I think it was a 13 Enclave. This was the left one. I believe the left is the slave and the right's not the slave. In this instance, it didn't matter. Everything went through, no problem. That was an easy job. After that, we did a no start on a 2013 Ford F-150. This F-150 was a no crank, no start. The customer got tripped up because it had what used to be the B1320, the key and ignition circuit code. The body control module now stores that as a different DTC. I don't know what the code was, but all it was the key and ignition switch fault, which is very common. Ended up being a bad starter. We just did, I actually tested at the back of the battery junction box underneath the hood for the output to the starter relay because I did not feel like crawling underneath this thing, and it had the output, so I went down to the starter solenoid. I should say that relay has an output to the starter solenoid, so I crawled underneath it, did a voltage drop test. We had all the powers that we needed down there. I did voltage drop test to ground to the of the starter while we were trying to crank it, and everything was good. So that's getting a starter. Next job of the day was a 2011 Ford Transit Connect. This was a no start, no communication job. The shop had just put an engine in it, and when I got there, I just started checking powers and grounds, and I found out that all the fuses that are powered up by the PCM power relay were low on voltage. I mean, they had no voltage. So I started looking at the circuit, and I was actually going to the PCM to test the powertrain control module ground, one of the main grounds to it. And as I was unplugging that connector, I found the little telltale signs of some green wires, and this was a wire for the PCM power relay ground. This is the control side of that relay. So we fixed that up. This vehicle was good to go as far as starting, but it was set in a P1635, which was very interesting. I don't know what was going on there. That's saying the tire size and axle ratio were incorrect. I spent a lot of time programming this, trying to get rid of that code, and I couldn't. I think we're going to have to get a powertrain control module, replacement module, and that would take care of that. Just so you know, I did try PMI via tear tag. I did clear my IDS sessions. I did actually could get it so I could type in that information on the scanner. Hold on a second. The next job of the day was a 2008 Isuzu NPR. This had a 6-liter in it. This is a GM engine, and GM, you know, like electronics on the engine, but it's actually like Isuzu electronics everywhere else. And this thing threw me for it stumped me, I won't lie. I had no ignition, no dash lights, and the service information I was using in all data actually had the wrong wiring diagrams. I went and purchased the Isuzu medium duty software. It's only 15 bucks for 3 days. It's a great deal. This saved my tail because it gave me some direction. It took me a little while to figure out what's going on. I found 4 blown fuses and 1 fuse that kept on blowing over and over again. The instrument cluster fuse actually powers up, also powers up, besides the instrument cluster, it powers up the powertrain relay, which turns on the ignition 1 voltage to the ignition 1 fuse and a PCM power fuse 2. So once I had found this fuse was blowing, I started looking around, but I ended up doing what I wish I would have done in the first place, a very good initial visual inspection. If I would have cranked my head up underneath this thing, I would have seen this mess. Here's what happened. The muffler had a hole in it, was pushing hot exhaust gases onto the harness, and the wires melted together back there. It was a spaghetti mess, and it took me quite a while. I think I spent over an hour and a half repairing it. But once we got that all fixed up, that fuse doesn't blow anymore, and we have a runner. That was my day. I hope everybody had a great day themselves. It's been a hot one in Cleveland. I tell you what, I'm tired. I'm going home. You guys have a great evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.